Welcome to this complete tutorial on building AI agents in Azure AI Foundry. Whether you're just getting started or looking to deploy production-grade multi-agent systems, this guide covers everything you need. Let's start with the fundamentals. What exactly is an AI agent? A traditional large language model takes an input and returns an output. One shot, no memory, no ability to take actions. An AI agent is fundamentally different. It perceives a goal, reasons about what to do, plans a sequence of steps, uses tools to take real actions, and loops until the task is complete. The key difference is capability. Agents can call external APIs, run Python code, search the web, read uploaded files, and remember context across an entire conversation. Azure AI Agent Service provides the managed runtime for all of this, including the tool registry, thread management, and built-in observability. Think of an agent as a large language model with a to-do list, a toolbox, and the ability to check its own work before declaring it done. Now let's look at the architecture. Every agent system in Azure AI Foundry has three core components. First, the agent itself. This is the model plus a system prompt plus tool definitions. The agent is stateless. All state lives in the thread. Second, the thread. This is the persistent conversation history. One thread per conversation session, fully managed by the service. Third, the run. This is the execution instance. When you create a run, the agent processes the thread, decides which tools to call, executes them, observes the results, and continues until it reaches a final answer. The flow is, user sends a message to a thread, the agent reads the thread, calls tools as needed, and returns a response. Clean, composable, and fully observable. Now let's talk about the tools available to your agents. Azure AI Agent Service ships with 6 categories of built-in tools. Code Interpreter runs Python in a sandboxed environment. No setup required. Your agent can generate charts, process spreadsheets, solve equations, and produce downloadable files. If the code fails, the agent rewrites it and retries automatically. File Search provides vector-based retrieval-augmented generation over uploaded documents. Upload PDFs, Word documents, text files, or CSVs. The service auto-chunks and embeds them. The agent performs semantic search and automatically cites the source file and page number in its response. You can store up to 10,000 files per vector store. Function calling lets you define your own custom tools, JSON schemas. You describe function name, what it does, and what parameters it accepts. The agent decides autonomously when to call your function and passes the correct arguments. Your application executes the real logic and returns the result. GPT-4o supports parallel tool call. It can invoke multiple functions simultaneously in a single turn. Bing Search adds real-time web grounding. Bing Search integration lets your agent answer questions about current events and live data. Azure Functions and Logic apps connect your agent to over 1,400 enterprise connectors, Teams, Outlook, Dynamics, SAP, databases, and more. Now let's walk through creating your first agent step by step. Open Azure AI Foundry at ai.azure.com. Select your hub, then open a project. In the left sidebar, click Agents, then New Agent. Configure your agent by choosing a model. GPT-4o is recommended for complex reasoning tasks, GPT-4o Mini for high-volume, cost-sensitive workloads. Both support parallel tool call. Write a system prompt. Be specific about the agent's role, the output format you expect, and any constraints. For example, you are a financial analyst assistant. Always cite data sources. Return numbers in tables. Add your tools. Toggle on Code Interpreter, File Search, or define custom function tools. Finally, use the built-in chat playground to test your agent before deploying it to production. Let's go deeper on 2 of the most powerful built-in tools, Code Interpreter and File Search. Code Interpreter runs Python in a fully isolated sandbox. Your agent can upload a sales spreadsheet, analyze trends, generate a bar chart, and return a downloadable PNG, all in a single turn. The agent self-corrects. If the code raises an exception, it rewrites the code and retries without any intervention from you. File Search is built-in retrieval-augmented generation. Upload your product manuals, legal documents, or knowledge base articles. The service handles chunking, embedding, and indexing automatically. When a user asks a question, the agent performs semantic vector search, retrieves the most relevant passages, and quotes the exact source and page number in its answer. This is production-ready RAG with zero infrastructure to manage. Now let's talk about multi-agent orchestration, the most powerful pattern in Azure AI Foundry. In a multi-agent system, you have an orchestrator agent that acts as the manager. It receives the user's goal, breaks it into subtasks, and delegates each subtask to a specialist agent. The specialist agents each focus on one domain: research, coding, writing, data analysis, or quality assurance. Agent-to-agent communication uses function calling. The orchestrator calls each subagent as a tool, passing the relevant context and receiving structured results. All agents share a common thread, so context flows naturally without duplication. The orchestrator can fan out to multiple specialist agents simultaneously and merge their results into a final coherent response. This pattern scales to arbitrarily complex workflows. Now let's look at the Python SDK for building agents programmatically. Install the Azure AI Projects and Azure Identity packages. Connect using AIProjectClient.FromConnectionString. This uses managed identity in production and default Azure credential locally, so you never store API keys in code. Create your agent by calling project.agents.createAgent, passing the model name, agent name, system instructions, and a list of tool objects. Create a thread with project.agents.createThread, one thread per conversation session. Add a message and start a run with create and process run, which blocks until the agent finishes. For real-time streaming and chat interfaces, use create stream instead. The entire agent lifecycle, create, run, stream, cleanup, is handled through this single client. Observability is critical for production agents. Azure AI Foundry provides built-in tracing for every run. Every tool call, every token, and every step is logged automatically and visible in the Foundry portal under the Tracing tab. Traces export to Azure Monitor via OpenTelemetry, so you can build dashboards and application insights alongside the rest of your application telemetry. The Run Steps API lets you inspect exactly what the agent did, which tool was called, what arguments were passed, and what was returned. This is invaluable for debugging unexpected agent behavior. Use the Azure AI Evaluation SDK to score your agent's responses on groundedness, relevance, and task completion. Run these evaluations automatically on every deployment using a golden dataset of expected behaviors. Before we close, let's cover the 9 production best practices every Azure AI agent deployment should follow. 1. Use managed identity. Never store API keys in code. Assign your application a role on the Azure AI resource. 2. Set run timeouts. Always configure max completion tokens and a polling timeout to prevent runaway costs. 3. Validate tool outputs. Parse and validate every tool result before passing it back to the agent. 4. Clean up threads. Delete threads after sessions end. Threads are billed per token stored. 5. Handle rate limits. Implement exponential backoff with jitter for 429 responses. 6. Enable content safety. Apply Azure AI content safety input and output filters on every agent endpoint. 7. Use private endpoints. Route all API calls through a VNet private endpoint for enterprise compliance. 8. Test with the Evaluation SDK. Run automated quality tests on every deployment using a golden dataset. 9. Version your agents. Store agent configurations in source control and use deployment slots for blue-green updates. That's everything you need to build, deploy, and monitor production-grade AI agents in Azure AI Foundry. Start with the Agents Playground at ai.azure.com. Explore the full Azure AI Foundry series on this channel and subscribe to Expert of AI for more tutorials every week. Happy building.